All right, it is week 7. It's time for the Sunday Night Talk right here on the Running It Back channel here on YouTube. I am Patrick Ramirez. That is my channel you are listening to. Omar Carmona is going to join me shortly. Before we get to the show, don't forget, if you have not already, subscribe to the channel right here. Give it a click. We had a couple new subscribers this week. I'm doing YouTube shorts of all my Raider predictions before the game actually starts. And not to mention, all the true crime content is going up also in YouTube shorts as well. So go check it out. Got some fun stuff coming up as well. And I put up a new interview this week with MC Raider, a Los Angeles legend. He joined me. We had a full-on interview and conversation. So go check it out. But right now, it's time for the Sunday Night Talk. I have Omar Carmona joining me. Gosh, do we have questions about our own team? So let's not delay. Let's bring him in right now. Omar Carmona, here we are. The Sunday Night Talk starts right now. All right, it is 8:37 Central Time, because that's where I am now. Omar Carmona joins me. It was week 7 in the NFL. The hat is backwards, so you can already tell where I am, where I'm at on my team.
You're not happy. You're not happy.
No, I'm not happy, but I got to tell you, Omar, I had a good talk with another Raiders fan this week, and I've come to realize that I forgot this is Antonio Pierce's first year ever as a head coach. And you have to give people some room to grow and make mistakes. And that's where I'm at right now with the Raiders, because it was an absolute mess of a game this week with the Las Vegas Raiders. We started Aiden O'Connell. He goes out of the game. Gardner Minshew comes in. Relief pitcher Gardner Minshew comes in. And he looks like he doesn't know the plays. And he single-handedly blew the game for the Raiders. All right, we're going to talk about my team. We're going to talk about your team. But we just wrapped up the Russell Wilson Lifetime Achievement Show by Chris Collins. Sorry. I mean the Sunday Night Football game. Chris Collinsworth loves Russell Wilson, and I got a little
too much.
That's what I said. This was his Lifetime Achievement Show presented by Chris Collinsworth. Mike, no one throws the moon ball like Russell Wilson. Let me tell you, that's what this team was missing. It was insane. And then Chris Collinsworth somehow turns into a Jets apologist at the end of the show. He's like, I'm just saying there's a path, Mike. If they can put all these things together. Chris Collinsworth, the Jets are done. The Jets are terrible. What are you doing? Are you just trying to sell the show for next week? So
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I thought he was trying a little too hard to sell it, and I just didn't like it. I think he's off the mark here.
I think he's totally off the mark. The Jets are horrible. I think we can officially
terrible.
We can put the Jets to bed. Enough with saying the Jets just got to put it together. It was bad.
I think I messaged you. We have a hostage situation here in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have a hot take. I don't know if I want to say it now or save it, because it's a little too hot and it's in my head right now.
But
I guess I'll save it. I guess I'll save it because I'm looking at my hot takes and I need to add another one. I'll save my hot take.
It just seems like, wow, everything that this franchise did for Aaron Rodgers, he runs a coach out of town. And that thing a few weeks ago, it didn't seem like much, but now when you think about it, it was when he kind of like brushed off Coach Saleh and basically like said it's too early, but the way he stared at him, it's like it's like he's always trying to, stake his claim. You know what I mean? It's I don't think it's a cool look for him.
I can't wait for the 30 for 30 in about 10 years about this Aaron Rodgers season, about how he was secretly running his own meetings.
I think it's interesting you say that, because I think he's the only person that believes there should be a 30 for 30, because I don't think anybody would care about his career. He won a Super Bowl. Okay. So did Favre.
Yeah.
All right. Now, hasn't it always been when we talk about GOATs, we're talking about multiple championships?
No,
I
he
mean,
doesn't have the playoff record at all. It's really bad. Eli
when we
Manning has a
talk
better playoff record.
right when we talk about LeBron and Michael Jordan, we're talking about and Kobe, we're talking about 5, 6 titles, 4, 5, 6 titles, right? When we're talking about certain quarterbacks, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, after you win multiple like Tom Brady, when you win seven, seven, that's like, you've done it. Aaron Rodgers didn't do that, so I don't I do take do I think he's got he had an arm that, not, you know no other, I don't know, Hall of Fame quarterbacks could even say they had. Sure, he was that kind of talent. But at the end of the day, he didn't win as much as others. So
Hmm.
I don't see what the big deal is with Aaron Rodgers.
Great regular season player. I'm
Bro,
I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna equate him to Dominique Wilkins. Highlights, great seasons, but never
no,
had a
but I
deep
don't think
playoff
that's
run.
but Patrick, I don't think that's fair because Dominique didn't win a title. I mean, Aaron, we got to give Aaron
One
something.
one. Yeah, that's true.
He won one title.
Yeah,
Okay.
he won one.
Um, I mean, so let's think about title holders that
Clyde
won.
Drexler.
Your Dirk Nowitzki's. You know what I mean? He won one title. I think
Yeah.
Dirk's a good comparison. Is he up there in the Hall of Fame chat? Absolutely, he is.
Hmm.
But is he anywhere near GOAT talk? The answer is
No, no, I
no.
don't think anybody's making that argument though. If he had put together one more Green Bay season or he was a contender this year, what are you drinking at a McDonald's cup? You got McDonald's this late at
I
night?
got McDonald's.
Oh, you did have a rough Sunday. Oh my God, you got McDonald's. What was your McDonald's order?
Patrick, I had a number three, which is a double quarter pounder with cheese, no pickles,
Oh,
no onions. I did not and I was about to lie to you until I did not want. I water sized it. I water sized it. Or
what's
not
that?
water
I don't
sized.
know.
I got a large.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
A
And
super size. Do they still say, they don't say super size
yeah,
anymore,
what
right?
a size is Whataburger?
I think, yeah, water size. But super size used to be McDonald's, but I think that got canceled.
Oh, it did. We lost
Yeah, because I
supersize.
think I think you can't say supersize because you
Ah,
can't
the
offend.
liberals took it.
Oh, you can't offend fat people anymore.
Damn it. Damn it. We used to live in a world we could offend the obese. And now look at us. Look at us. We're
Look at us.
speaking on a Zoom late
And
on a
then and
Sunday
then
night,
and then, but I
angry at
did
our
have, and then
teams.
aside from that meal, I did have six nuggets by themselves.
Oh, wow.
Just six.
This is a McDonald's order that like I don't know if I should call somebody. So you had the double cheese, the double quarter pounder.
Yep.
You supersized it, and you got six nuggets by themselves. Was this
Yeah.
after the Niners game? We were like, fuck it, I got to go to McDonald's.
Yeah. It was after the
Oh
Niners
my
game. I was not
god!
happy, and this is what happens when I'm not happy after the 49ers.
And what sauce did you get for the nuggets?
Barbecue, although I never get barbecue, I always get sweet and sour. And And then I did barbecue today,
Jeez.
and I'm like, no, I'm definitely a sweet and sour guy.
Oh my god, this is getting really scary. What's the earliest you've ever given up on your team? Week 7 sounds, although your team still has a winning record. I wouldn't
No,
throw
we
in the
don't.
towel yet.
We're 3-4, Pat. We don't have a winning record. We're
Oh,
three.
that's right. I'm not counting today. Right, right. 3-4. Wow. Jeez, you're eating McDonald's after this hard loss. All right, well let's finish up on the Sunday night game because Pittsburgh all of a sudden now I think we finally have to take notice. Like I kind of like didn't think Pittsburgh was good until today where everything worked for them. And ironically, their offense looked way better than their defense, and their defense was the thing the last few weeks. Russell Wilson starts today. That was a big one. So, what are your thoughts about Pittsburgh before this game? And now that we've seen this game, what are your thoughts on Pittsburgh?
Um, okay. Here are my thoughts on Pittsburgh. The, they're still not a champ. I would not put them yet as a championship caliber team. The Jets are not. I don't think that's a fair benchmark. I think if you're comparing yourself to the Jets, well, you're comparing yourself to a mediocre team. So just because they beat the Jets does not mean they are going to win a, do I think they're in the title conversation? But I do think they're gritty. I do like their defense. And apparently, Mike Tomlin wasn't wrong, at least for tonight, in starting Russell Wilson.
Yeah, that was a big move for Mike Tomlin because, Justin Fields was terrible against the Raiders the week before, even though they won, and he still made the tough decision to switch it up. I thought that was really, really interesting. And once Russell got going, I was under the impression like, oh yeah, this is their quarterback. You can't
Right.
go to Fields. And Collinsworth was trying to play devil's advocate, or he's trying to be neutral. He's like, see, that's a play where Fields would have ran it. Fields brings the element of the run in today, Mike. And I thought Pittsburgh like showed up. And didn't we have Pittsburgh Sunday night like last week? What's with all the
Yep.
Pittsburgh Sunday night games? And clearly, Collinsworth, Tirico, and NBC in general was told, you need to sell this Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers union hard at the beginning of the game. They were like, Mike, they're smiling so much, Mike. They're doing so much smiling. He's staying at Aaron Rodgers' house, Mike. They're like a couple of kids. It was so obvious. And like, make this Devontae thing a thing, Chris Collinsworth. I appreciated the effort, but what did Devontae have? 2 catches
Yep.
and
No,
and
three. I
one
think he had
one
three. He had
tackle
three.
after an interception.
Yeah, I mean, but I
Mike,
don't
they
think
haven't gelled yet.
yeah, I don't think you can expect much, but anyway, but the Jets aren't that good. I don't think this Devontae Adams trade, I don't think that puts them over any hump whatsoever. I
No,
still
it
think
didn't seem
that
like it after today. Although Chris Collinsworth
I
thought
still
differently.
think that if you want to put them with Devontae against the Chiefs, I'm still taking the Chiefs. You want
So
to
you're
put
not
them?
buying Chris Collinsworth. There's a path for the
No,
Jets.
no.
Who they got to be? Who's well, Buffalo.
If you want to put them against the Bills, I'm taking the Bills. If you want to put them against the Ravens, I'm taking the Ravens. If
Yeah. Well, they
you know,
can't win their division, can they? There's no way they'll beat Miami. Although who knows?
I don't think they'll catch the Bills.
I don't think they'll catch the Bills either. The Bills are good enough to win against the Jets. I don't
I think
care
the
how.
Texans I still think the Texans, although they didn't win today, I think the Texans are better than they are. So I don't even put them as a serious threat in their conference.
Yeah, today looked bad. Aaron Rodgers had the typical Aaron Rodgers pick where it would have taken a great effort by the receiver to catch it. But he always does this thing where he's trying to throw it behind the defender's back. But if the defender's looking, then he'll intercept it. And that's what happened this one. And then he had the one where the ball bounced off his receiver's chest into an interception as well. It's just, these seem to happen every single game. And I wrote it down here. Doesn't it seem like Aaron Rodgers gets a lot of balls knocked down at the line of scrimmage? Am I crazy to notice he had like 3 of those today? And he like seems to like throw it from his shoulder, so it's coming out low. I haven't seen anything with Aaron Rodgers other than like he throws a good ball that looks good with this offense.
Nah,
Nothing.
I gotta be honest. I don't even think we should talk these Jets as much anymore because they're not a threat. They're just not. And so,
Well, today was the write-off game for me, for them. Like, there's teams we can write off
yeah,
after this week, and they're in the write-off category for me this week. Other thing, like Collinsworth, did you hear Collinsworth almost willing Russell Wilson to throw a bomb in the first quarter?
right,
You gotta let him put one up there.
right.
Chris Collinsworth might have a phone line to the sideline for all we know.
Absolutely.
And if I'm a Steelers fan, I'm like, Wilson to Pickens, this is the combo. Like, they had like 3 of them today. Where like Russell was just dropping them in there and Pickens is making these crazy catches. I'm pretty pumped if I'm a Steelers fan after tonight. That was pretty impressive what they were doing. I thought that was really good.
They're a decent team. I am gonna put the Ravens better.
Better than Pittsburgh? Yeah, okay. Ravens are playing tomorrow. Yeah, so what's concerning about Pittsburgh that they can't keep this up, possibly?
I
Or
don't
you
think
don't like the win,
37 points is not something I think Pittsburgh can count on every week.
right? But they struggle in offense all season long, and then this was like their breakout game.
Right. Now, I do think
Some
here's what's
garbage
going for
time.
them. Here's what I think is going for them. They have a defense that I think can hold teams the way they do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. TJ Watt didn't exactly have a huge game today, and yet they dominated the Jets. And you sort of knew the Jets were going down for the count after that field goal got blocked.
Right.
They just came off so defeated. And that field goal kicker has ruined a few games for him this year
Right.
as well. So I think we can put the Jets to bed. And Pittsburgh had a great Sunday night to put on there. And yeah, I think Rodgers is going to get pissed. I'm totally ready for them to have the one good game this season, but I don't see them doing anything. What have they shown this year that have been anything worthwhile? Nothing. I haven't seen anything. Have you?
No, I haven't either.
No. Yeah. All right. Well, before we get to the games, I got a little stats quiz I want to throw at you, Omar.
All right, let's go.
This is called Would You Be Surprised If? I'm going to read you 4 statements. Number 1, going into week 7, Omar, would you be surprised if I told you Patrick Mahomes is ranked 17th in QBR this year? 17th. That surprised me. I thought it was going to be like 10, and I was going to like, wow, that's low.
You know what's funny about that is I am surprised. However, the fact that he is 6-0 goes to his greatness, and basically what the Chiefs dynasty is to football right now is just they're just gonna find a way to win. So
Yeah.
yes, I'm surprised, but it only shows you the mastery that is Andy Reid and the Chiefs.
Well, we said it like it's just going to be a win ugly year for them. I mean, today was their most impressive win. Today was the most Chiefs they looked this year, but going into it, he is ranked 17th of all the quarterbacks who have taken a snap this year in QBR. All right, next question. Would you be surprised if I told you the most expensive beer in the NFL is $16.49?
In Vegas?
Vegas is number 2.
Ooh, hold on. Hold on.
Uh-oh, he's got his McDonald's cup in his hand. What soda did you get, by the way?
I Coke Zero. I'm watching my weight, Pat. You know.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Got a real Denise Austin on our line here.
Los Angeles? SoFi?
Nope, it is not SoFi.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, I told you this might surprise you. What if I told you? Would you be surprised?
Okay, Buffalo.
No, the most expensive beer is by the Washington Commanders at $16.49.
Those sons of bitches.
Second place was Vegas at $16.
That makes sense, though.
Right. Vegas is just so outrageously expensive. And for the product they're putting out in the field, it makes it even worse. I'll pay $16.49 if my team is going to win. But $16 to watch your team lose, that's depressing. All right. Would you be surprised if I told you the team with the most cap space in the NFL is the San Francisco 49ers? They have $54 million in cap space. So what leads me to believe is they need a trade deadline acquisition this year. They really do. We don't know if McCaffrey's, we don't know what his status is. We don't know if he has tennis elbow at this point. We don't know when he's coming back. I don't know what the 49ers need, to be honest, but they need something. Something. What would you add? What would you look for?
Ooh, I don't know. Great question.
It's always a skill position, right? That people get trade deadline echo. So would you go somewhere in the defense, a corner, a safety, a receiver, maybe a slot receiver? I don't know, but they are looking, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. And would you be surprised if the team with the least cap space is
I mean, Jets.
it's the Carolina Panthers?
Oh, that's just
Right.
sounds
That's just
bad.
so depressing, especially after today. You have no money to work with and you're terrible.
And you're terrible. Right.
All right. Would you be surprised if the most penalized team in the NFL is
The least,
the most?
the most, the Dallas Cowboys.
The Houston Texans with 51
Really?
penalties.
Ooh.
And the least penalized team is the LA Rams, 27.
Okay.
I'm surprised in Houston as well as they played this year. 51 penalties. And then here's one bonus one, Omar. Would you be surprised if I told you the San Francisco 49ers have Josh Dobbs on their roster?
I knew that. Of course, I knew that.
Ah, I don't like it. I don't like Dobbs on a roster, and I don't like Carson Wentz on the Kansas City roster. I do not like it. All right, that was a quick game. But let's talk about the games that we watched today. The early slate, I think, had, 12 games? Not to mention the London game, New England at Jacksonville, total sleep-in game. I did not try to watch this game. I had no inkling. Like, football London makes the day too damn long. So I
Yes,
skipped it. And
and
this wasn't a good matchup at
this
all.
wasn't a good matchup, and but it's amazing how again we're prisoners of the moment because it just seems like we're talking you know Doug Peterson should have been fired last week, and now what his job's safe because he beats the Patriots.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
they did win. So he gets to come home to the States.
yeah,
The
but
London game, 32 points. They beat a very bad New England team. New England is giving up on the season, though. Don't you agree? It's just Drake May get
done.
reps year.
They're done. They're done.
Yeah, yeah. It's just Drake May get some practice in. How much do you think the New England Patriots rushed for in this game?
They were so bad. They were behind this entire second half. I want to go very low and say they rushed for 55 yards.
They rushed for 38 yards.
Wow.
I think you might have spent $39 on your McDonald's order. That's how bad it was because you got the Nuggets. No win
Right.
situation. How long till London starts getting pissed off at these games we keep sending them?
Oh, when does London? When does the King call Roger Goodell and say, "Don't send us this bullshit anymore"?
Yeah, hey, we want to see the Chiefs. Hey, we want to see the 49ers. We want to see the Cowboys. Stop sending us the Jaguars. They have a new coach every year they come here, by the way. Jesus. The London game. All right. The early slate, I wrote it down, had 3 potential awesome games, and they almost all came through. I had Seattle at Atlanta. I had Houston at Green Bay and Detroit at Minnesota, all 3 great early game matchups. And they were all, except for the Seattle one, like a touchdown game.
Great,
Good slate.
great slate, and that was a great NFC matchup. The Lions and the Vikings. That would you say best game of the week?
Lions and Vikings was good. I watched more of the Houston Green Bay one. I watched it at a Chicago bar. So we had some Green Bay cheering, but we also had some Detroit fan base as well going on there. So I watched that one. That one came down to a field goal. Houston came down to a field goal. And in Seattle, you texted me this. I want you to defend this text. You texted me, Seattle looks dangerous. Now, defend your text, Omar.
Well, Atlanta has not been terrible. They're playing well. Next thing you know, it seems like Geno Smith is finding his open targets. They even had a trick play that worked out for them. Jigba Smith finding DK Metcalf on a nice pass. They're trying things. They're playing tough defense. They're not bad.
Okay. You like Seattle a lot, it seems.
Yeah.
Okay. I texted a friend of mine this, and I said, please talk me out. Don't forget to talk me out of Kirk Cousins because I'm going to be tricked into Kirk Cousins at some point this season. But luckily today he was bad. So we didn't have to like pretend that Kirk Cousins was good. But I did tell my friend, hey, dude, remind me Kirk Cousins is bad for November so I don't get tricked into putting money on Atlanta or something like that. So Seattle, big win. Green Bay at home beats Houston. What do you think about Green Bay now? What do you think about Jordan Love being in the
that
elite
was an
class?
that was an impressive win because you know how high I've been on the Texans all year. They are my AFC dark horse to be in the Super Bowl. Okay, and and I'm not backing off of that. But Green Bay, I guess it was one of those things, kind of like we didn't know when Favre left Green Bay. We didn't know Aaron Rodgers was going to be Aaron Rodgers, right? And now that Aaron Rodgers is now out of Green Bay, we never really knew what Jordan Love was going to be to the Packers, and they got a franchise quarterback, right?
He's looking really sharp. He looks better every week. He looks really in control, and this was a great one. He had to bring him back, and they won at the last second. Green Bay really, really competitive. And then Minnesota, Detroit, the other big game of the early slate. That was really good, and I put down this was a golf game. This was him bringing the offense out, in control, totally calm. I think Jason Garrett, I have this written down for later, did an interview with St. Brown, and he goes, in typical Jason Garrett fashion, hey, what did Jared Goff say to you in that last huddle? And Amon St. Brown just goes, he doesn't say anything. That was it.
Right.
So that was Minnesota's first loss of the season. And if this is your first loss of the season to a really good Detroit team that needs a field goal, I don't think you feel that bad about it. This is one of those losses that you actually can gain something from. So I know they're going to be bummed out, but they played really good. They were up to the challenge in this game. So Detroit, Minnesota, where are those falling in your rankings for you right now?
Well, Minnesota is a top team.
Okay, you got them over Detroit?
Yes.
Really?
No, sorry. Minnesota, no. They're a top team. However, actually, Detroit stopped them today. And then it was a close game, but Detroit is in my opinion, Detroit is the top NFC team right now.
I was ready to say like the Detroit letdown because like don't forget they lost Hutchison for the year after last week and they didn't have a let up. I mean they gave up of course 29 points, but I mean they played well enough to be in this game defensively. I was impressed with Detroit. They might have like we don't have a most impressive award, but I might give it to them. The most impressive award for the day. Dan Campbell had the crazy pump up speech after the game too. Detroit's rolling. Looking really, really good. Okay, before we get to the other games, which were kind of boring in the early slate, I want to get to a text you sent me because I gave you a hard time of not preparing for the show. And then you sent me a text that said, here's all the things I want to talk about for the show. So I'm like, oh, Omar's doing some show prep for once. Look at that. He's only looking at his phone 60% of the time. He's got McDonald's. This guy's ready. So I'm going to go through your texts you sent me one by one. I got 3 of them here. Okay, number 1, Deshaun Watson, the franchise QB killer. What do you mean by that?
He got the deal of a lifetime. I said what we have here is we have a franchise quarterback on a franchise that is going nowhere. And now enough time has passed where we realize it's not going to be this quarterback that's going to deliver the franchise back to the promised land. And that is the problem with Cleveland. Just add Deshaun Watson to that list of quarterbacks that merry-go-round of quarterbacks that just did not pan out for the Browns.
Yep, and they can't get rid of him. There's nothing they can do. You can sit him, you can play him, It doesn't matter. You're going to be paying him, and it's bad in Cleveland. They booed him when he got injured today. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They booed him. That was brutal. But you know what that led to was a Jameis Winston sighting. He had a touchdown too. I don't know if you saw that. Jameis Winston, he went 5 for 11. Those are great Jameis Winston numbers, by the way.
Oh, I love Jameis. You know I love Jameis.
All right. Now, your second text that you wanted to bring up today. Vikings Lions playoff preview. What are we talking here? Playoff, wild card, divisional, conference, which I was not remiss that I noticed this supersedes your 49ers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how far do you see each of where are they meeting in the playoffs? I mean,
they could very well be meeting in the conference title game.
Is that what you think? Conference?
Yep. It's possible a conference
Really?
title game. Yep.
Wow, you're high on both teams and low on your own team.
Yes.
All right.
But I think that the Lions are better equipped for a longer playoff run.
Yeah, it seems like the Lions have a little bit more battle testing from last year in them, and the Vikings right now are still the darling of the league, like the Lions were last year.
But it does hurt that they lost Hutchinson.
Yeah. I am ready for the trap game next week for the Lions. I don't know who they play, but there's going to be a little letdown from this game. I could totally expect that. If they could lose to Tennessee for all we know.
Yep. Next
week. And then your last text we talked about a little bit. Aaron Rodgers has officially hijacked the Jets. He is. I think when Robert Saleh got fired, he was like, "Great, I can start running this team now." And you're like, "Oh no, the inmates are running the prison."
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened.
So this season's lost. He's under contract for next year too. If it gets bad enough, he'll probably retire.
Yeah.
After this season, but if he doesn't, who are they going to get to coach? Are we going to do this all over again next year? We're going to see he's good. I'm in it for the spectacle, though. I like seeing the spectacle. It makes me wish he was a little better. But we're going to do this all over again. This is never going to end. Never.
I agree.
So I was thinking about unusual or character quarterbacks, people that just sort of grab our eye more so on their personality than their play. And then Jameis, yep, that's another one. But we had a Jake Cutler news story.
Jake Cutler
this week, who was another character quarterback who was more character than good. Got a really, really fascinating DUI. I don't know if you saw that.
I did, with a weapon.
I think he had 2 weapons.
What's his deal?
He's just a wild guy. Just a wild guy out on the town, Omar. It makes me wish that he had like one awesome season as a pro. And then we could sort of harp on that for the next 5 years, but he really didn't. He had a bunch of okay seasons. He had a rocket arm, and he just had this weird kind of like aloof personality. It didn't hurt that he looked like Alec Baldwin's son.
Yeah.
And then he was on a reality TV show, Married a Celebrity.
Well, yeah, and then like his ex-wife was an influencer, right? Or something.
Oh, I don't even remember. Oh, that's right. She's his ex-wife now. Yeah.
Kristen Cavallari. I mean,
yeah, she was. They had a reality show together too.
In that type of girl that just never, not much talent. I mean, I don't know, but it's famous for doing nothing, right?
Yeah, I don't think she did any. Well, she's on the OC or
famous for doing nothing.
What was the name of that reality show? It wasn't the OC.
Malibu.
No. What was it? I'll look it up. But yeah, she was on a reality show with other hot chicks, and then parlayed that into influencer or beauty products, or marrying Jay Cutler. She parlayed it into that.
Right.
I'll admit, I watched The Hills. That's what it was. I watched several episodes of it. I would hate watch it.
Yeah, well, I don't want to mention any colleagues of mine, Robert Almonte. that would come to my apartment with a case of beer saying, "Let's watch
Who's
the Hills
Robert
tonight."
Almonte? You can tell the audience who that is. Nobody knows who that is.
He's a lawyer friend of mine. He's now a defense lawyer, former U.S. attorney, political. He would come and buy cases of beer and then bring them to my house and watch episodes of The Hill.
So you and Robert Almonte will watch episodes of The Hills together
Yep.
and drink?
And drink, yes.
What was your favorite episode of The Hills?
Oh, we just hated that Heidi Montag and
Oh yeah, Heidi and Spencer. Right. I don't remember too much about it, but I remember there was a big deal where that one chick, I think it was there a Whitney?
Whitney.
Yeah, there was one where she like passed up like the job opportunity of a lifetime to like hang out with her boyfriend all summer. And I was like, whoa, I would never in my life have a woman do anything near close to that for me. That would never happen. Wow. The Hills. Who knew we go on this Hills tangent? So those are your storylines that you texted me for the week. I thought those were good storylines. Okay, here's a few that we can motor through. Tennessee at Buffalo. Guess who won that one?
Yeah, well, Tennessee's a nightmare there.
Tennessee stinks, right? There's no hope for them.
At this point, just play for the
Oh yeah,
go for the top pick in the draft next
you
year.
sent me your write-off teams. Let me read them to you. Titans, Browns, Giants, Panthers, Patriots, Saints. I don't agree with the Saints one.
Yeah, they're done. And Jets.
Add Jets to it after tonight. Yep.
Add Jets. But no.
No Raiders? You're
Saints
not
is
adding the
funny,
Raiders?
Like I said, we're prisoners. No, I don't think Raiders yet. I mean,
Oh, wow. You have more hope than I do.
Yeah, maybe, they're like, let's, because I still think there's talent. I still think they want to play hard. Losing to the Rams isn't good.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think but the Saints don't have Derek Carr back yet. So I'm not willing to write them off yet. So you wrote those off. Those teams are out. Here's a game I think 7 people watched. Miami at Indianapolis. There was nothing watchable about this game at all.
Right.
And I'm wondering what this season's going to be like for Miami coach Mike McDaniel.
But let's talk about this real quick. What high hopes for a division this year? The AFC East. We're talking about Miami. Maybe they're a player or two away from competing with the Chiefs, competing with the Bills. Where all these high hopes for Josh Allen, potential MVP. They've been doing some playoff runs last few years. We're talking about the Jets, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, well, he only played for 45 seconds last year. What a division with such high hopes. And turns out, aside from the Bills, it's just a lot of mediocrity.
No, it did not pan out at all. Dolphins, no. Had some injuries. Jets, hell no. What was the other team in that division? Forgot. I don't even know who the teams in the AFC. Oh, Patriots. Patriots, no. The Bills can lose 10 games and win this division. Yeah, write them off. Miami, so just the season from hell that Mike McDaniel is having in Miami. It'll be a real test. Like, can he keep control of the locker room? Can he keep spirits up? Because you're playing for next year at this point. We should have known something was up when their star player got arrested on the way to their very first game. There's such things called omens, Omar. And when you get arrested on your way to the first game, maybe that's an omen for the season. We should have known that.
Not good.
All right, that takes us to the 3 late games. Where do you want to start? Yours or mine?
Look. Let's. Both our teams lost. Okay.
Yes, they did.
So let's just talk about this. Let's just go where what is our biggest problem? And as a Niner fan, how about this? I wanna criticize your team. You criticize mine.
Okay. I like this game.
Raiders, look, you don't have a quarterback right now. Okay, there's no quarterback.
I don't think we have half a quarterback.
Yeah, and you don't have that. You have no running game. Okay, so you have to depend on the arm of someone who you can't depend on. Um, the defense plays hard. I still think that I don't think Antonio Pierce is going to last very long. Now that Tom Brady is involved, I could see, remember, Antonio Pierce is a giant. Antonio Pierce disrespected Tom Brady. And you think that's going to be forgotten by Tom Brady, the GOAT? Uh, I think Antonio Pierce is
Hmm.
done after this year. Um, and so
In his first year?
first year he's not going to get. Oh, is that so hard to believe in the NFL, Pat? Come on.
No, it's not that hard to believe, but it's his first year, first ever head coaching job too.
Right, but remember, this is a win now league, so he's just not gonna last. Uh, and so at the end of the day, I just think that you guys need a total rebuild at this point.
Yeah. Well, I don't disagree, of course, but I don't think you can fire someone after 1 year. Give the man a little time to make mistakes. He doesn't know how to he's making a lot of first year head coach mistakes. And by the way, he's never been a head coach before ever. So I think you got to give the man a little room to have some growing pains and feel what it's like to lose as a head coach because, I mean, you're right. There was no quarterback at the quarterback position for the Las Vegas Raiders. They start Aiden O'Connell. I think he faked the injury. I really do. I think he just sort of hit someone's helmet and said oh, my finger's jammed. And then in comes Minshew, who looks like a deer in headlights for 90% of these plays. And he loses that game for the Raiders. He absolutely lost that game for the Raiders. The strip fumble, which was a scoop to a scoop and score. He had an interception. The Raiders defense was playing perfectly fine. Like this win for the Rams, I don't think they really showed anything offensively. The Raiders were stopping them time in and time out. They gave their offense a chance, and Minshew just blew it. Well, it was 3rd and goal, and Minshew throws one up for grabs. It gets intercepted, and the announcer's like, well, he's got to try something. I was like, well, not on 3rd and goal. We have 4th and goal still. Why take the play away? So the only gripe I've heard both sides of it already from Raider Nation is they were down 8 points. They're inside the 10. They have 3 timeouts. It's on the other side of the 2-minute warning, and they kick the field goal. I was okay with kicking the field goal. What about you? Would you have gone for it on 4th down?
Yes, I think you got to go for it on 4th down.
Might as well.
You got to take some chances.
And the defense was playing good, so we could have stopped them and got the possession back. Anyway, I mean, the Raiders scored no touchdowns. It was all field goals.
Right.
And the Rams missed an extra point. They missed a field goal that hit the upright. They kept them in the game too. It was so bad. It was so bad. The Raiders don't have anything to offer on the offensive side. The only thing good about the Raiders this year is the defense and Max Crosby, who seems to be a Raider through and through, which we like. Pretty rough stuff out there. We got Brock Bowers, the tight end, who has been a revelation. Who, by the way, he's like 23 years old. He looks like he's 37 years old.
Hey, but potential. He's got the Hall of Fame type potential.
Yeah, it does. And it makes me think we got to go find a QB. Like, why didn't we get Flacco? Yeah. Flacco would have been 10 times better than Minshew. Jesus. And throwing down the field is apparently not in the playbook for the Raiders. They didn't throw down the field at all in this game. But Tom Brady is now a minority owner of the Raiders. I can't help but think this is a good thing because no one really wants to say anything bad about the Davis family. And I think over the last 20 years, they managed the team with a lot of question marks. So I think this is good. I think we can add some insight. Even if Tom Brady's just in these meeting rooms We have greatness in the room. So I'm still feeling positive, and I'm willing to accept this season as just a total learning season at this point. So
Okay,
I'm
that's
not even
fine.
gonna
You've accepted that.
I'm not even gonna worry about the rest of the wins or losses of this season. I everybody needs to play hard. I don't want any fights going on, but I've accepted this season's fate. You know, I know what's going on here. It's a bummer. It really, really is. But that's where I'm at with my team. Well, you haven't written out the Raiders, you said. So what's good about the Raiders?
Players like Brock Bowers, Max Crosby,
Okay.
they got there's some playmakers there, and there's, and again, I'm not saying you guys are not, you may not win, you may not make it to the playoffs. I don't think you should be banking
Oh,
on
you
that.
think so, Doctor?
But hey, maybe you guys can get some some wins. I'm not prepared to put them in the loser category just yet. That
Well,
maybe
what do you mean by loser? Not make losing record, not make the playoffs?
not make the, I mean, just not have any
Not
chance
making the
at playoffs.
playoffs.
No chance at making the playoffs.
But you're not writing them off? Why are you not? What are you not writing them off from?
Well, maybe you can
Not
just, I
winning a
don't know,
game?
try to get back to 500.
Okay. If we went 500, I'd be shocked at this point.
Yeah, that would be shocking.
Jesus. I mean, the offensive coordinator's got to go. Luke Getsy, I think he has 2 running plays. Run it off the center to the left and run it off the center to the right. It's those only plays. I don't get it. He's got to go. He will be fired, I think. All right, real quick before we go to your devastating McDonald's loss today. Carolina at Washington, complete blowout. So much of a blowout that Marcus Mariota comes in for the Commanders and actually puts up stats. But not a big concern for our QB. What's his name? Jalen? What's his last name? I already forgot.
What?
The QB for the Commanders.
Oh, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. I called him Jalen. Little injury, though, but he came back, and his mom tweeted that he's okay. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, rib injury, but he should be okay.
Does he have the same doctor as that one Chargers doctor that stabbed Tyrod Taylor in the heart?
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope not. That guy's a QB killer. Carolina stinks. They stink so bad. I was flipping between the Raiders and this 49ers game, and I go, oh, let me check on this Carolina game. And I happened to flip the channel, and it's Andy Dalton and Bryce Young both looking at that little sideline iPad, and they both look confused as hell. I was like, oh, okay, I know where this game's at. I can switch back now. I think they were playing Angry Birds or something on there. I was like, oh, time to switch back. No need to pay any attention to this game. All right, so that brings us to your game. The reason you had to go to McDonald's late. KC at San Francisco. A perfect revenge game. A perfect West Coast afternoon for it. And I think it's Brock Purdy was the reason for this loss. His interceptions were
not
killer.
Good, Pat. And today was some red flags. Some serious bad decisions, bad throws, bad reads.
Yeah, and he plays really, ironically, he's the best part of the 49ers offense, but his 2 picks killed him in the end. I think he had 3 total. But the one in the red zone just lets all the air out of your team.
That was over. It was just that was a killer.
Yeah.
Killer. That was when the game was over. And but and it looks like the Niners lost Brandon Ayuk for the rest of the year. It just especially after going through all the drama, just to lose him at this point, week 7 is just not good, Pat. I wonder. Good.
No, it's not. You're pretty down on him. You're turning into sad Carmona. I wonder if the 49ers are kicking themselves. Maybe they should have made a run at Devontae. Or maybe they did, and he was sold on the Jets. But that would be helpful. I thought Purdy looked good for everything but those interceptions. He moves so well. He was angry Purdy for a little bit too when he scored that touchdown. But it just seems like he does not have enough to pull back the pass. He can make all the passes, but there's a couple passes where you don't need to throw. And they killed them. It killed them in the end there. And then flip it, Mahomes goes full nuclear in the third quarter with that little sideline run, and then he trucks the dude in the end zone. Don't you think this was the Chiefs' best game?
It was because it was a dominant game for them.
Yeah.
It seemed like they always had control of the game.
Yeah, they were going downfield like old Chiefs. And then every time it was 3rd and 7, you were just like, oh, they're getting this. Oh, 3rd and 8, they're getting this. It was Chiefs of old. And San Francisco did not get their revenge. So what's your assessment of San Francisco? You're out on them for the playoffs? No wild card? Where do you see?
They're out. Only
No
because
playoffs,
of
though?
the emergence of the division of the NFC North. I think that's gonna, they could potentially have 3 teams in the playoffs. And Seattle, if they just keep, putting up performances like this, it's only going to be one team that comes out of that division, and it could be just Seattle.
Now what's your sad factor at? On a scale of 1 to...
It's pretty sad because it kind of feels like the championship window closed.
On a scale of 1 to Josh Dobbs, where are you at?
I'm back with 1.
Oh, wait, flip it. On a scale of Josh Dobbs to 10, sorry.
Oh, okay. So,
hey, maybe we need a panic scale of quarterbacks, and
okay,
one...
Yeah, I'm at Josh Dobbs panic right now.
That's our lowest panic. Like, if your team is starting blank, you're like, oh shit. Would it be Dobbs? Would it be Skylar Thompson? Would it be Ryan Tannehill? Yeah, we need to come up with a scale of panic level QBs. 1 to 10. I'm going to work on that for next week. So San Francisco, you're bummed out on them. It's not happening. I got one more note on the Raiders. Aiden O'Connell goes out with an injury. Gardner Minshew took like 2 bad sacks. And I think the announcer goes, they have Jacoby Myers, their receiver, listed as the emergency QB. Here's the thing. Jacoby Myers is injured.
Yeah.
We had no QB. We were basically running on fumes out there. Gardner Minshew was all we had. Oh my God. All right, let's do the awards. Oh wait, I just Googled Kristen Cavallari. You know how many kids Kristen Cavallari has?
How many?
Just 3 kids. Are they all Jake Cutler's?
I
think so. Oh, there might be one with the new husband.
Okay.
Yep. I don't know if you know this, but she has a book called Balancing in Heels. My Journey to Health and Happiness and Making It All Work. How come every hot chick has a story about their journey?
Nobody cares.
Have you ever heard like a 50-year-old dude talk about their journey?
Now, who cares?
Like at some point, every semi-attractive girl like becomes a dating expert. All right, let's do the awards. Omar's about to go back to McDonald's. Got some good ones this week. You sound prepared too, so I'm looking forward to this. Most memorable moment of the week. I got, let's see. Take your pick. The ending of the Detroit or Green Bay game-winning field goals game. I thought was a nice, memorable moment. 2 games that almost ended like within minutes of each other too.
Yeah. Yep. Very true.
I got that as a memorable moment nominee, and I also got Aaron Rodgers' bloody hand. That was like perfect for Halloween. Look at this guy's bloody hand.
That was a good one. My memorable moment is going to be just because of how close it hits how close it hits home. Brandon Ayuk going down with that knee injury. That's what I'm.
Oh, sad memorable moment?
Yeah.
Oh man. Jeez. What do you think would be your saddest of the sad McDonald's order? Like you're the Niners getting killed. You're like, screw it. I'm leaving I'm going to McDonald's. It's a third quarter. I don't
It's
care.
any meal, but add a McFlurry.
Oh, add to it. Yeah, like you get your number 3, but you're like, give me 4 nuggets. All right, anything else? McFlurry.
That's just a McFlurry. Or like something that I would never order, but like an apple pie.
Oh, I like the apple pies at McDonald's. They come in that little sleeve. Jeez. So you're like a panic eater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Some people cut themselves. You eat McDonald's.
Sir.
Jeez. And you bring it home. You wouldn't eat it in the restaurant and just sit by yourself, because I've done that a couple times.
Yeah, oh, you always bring it home. I'm not gonna eat there.
I've done it. I've been in low places, Omar. I've eaten at the McDonald's dining area. I've done it. All right. Next award, the cringeworthy award. I got some nominees. The Browns fans cheering Deshaun Watson injury.
I think I don't know how you go past that. I mean, like how bad is that? I mean, you're talking about the end of a franchise quarterback, something that the Browns invested so much money on, and so you can read the rest of them, but I'm gonna go with that's the biggest cringe award.
And then the fact that as soon as he's healthy, they're gonna trot him out there again. Like they have to play him. Might as well get something out of him.
Right.
That one was pretty cringeworthy. I also got the Raiders emergency quarterback was not even on the field. And then lastly, cringeworthy award. NBC does this thing before the Sunday night game where they do like a FaceTime, like Jason Garrett FaceTimes that Detroit player, and it's just a close-up of their face. And it's like, you can see all these lines in Jason Garrett's eyes. It's like him like I am right now against the camera. I'm like,
right.
Hey, I'm on St. Brown. What were you on that last drive? What did Jared Goff say to you? I was like, can we back up from Jason Garrett's face? No more FaceTime, NBC. I had that as my cringeworthy award also.
I like that.
All right, but I think we agree. The Browns fans cheering Deshaun Watson in sheer pain. I think he deserved it. I'm not even going to say it was like not classy. I think he deserved the boos or the cheers.
It does kind of feel like no one's hurting about this either, which is sad.
Well, I think the Browns management is. They're like, oh man, we paid how much for this guy? Brutal. Next award, most memeable moment. Not a lot this week, but I just threw in the Dan Campbell post-game speech.
What do you think?
I just like how he cheers and his face gets all red. And then he said he's been giving game balls to like weird participants weeks before, so he wanted to make sure he got it right this week. And everybody kind of laughed and cheered. So I got, Dan Campbell giving the game ball. I think you can make memes about. You'd be like, game ball goes to the person that served Omar his McDonald's order. You could think of silly game ball recipients. Yeah. So that's what I went for memeable moment. Do you have any memes for the week?
The look on Daniel Jones's face when he was asked about his benching. He says he wasn't happy. He was frustrated and he didn't like it. It's like, you've been terrible. And so.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that game. I didn't even write it down in my notes. I left it out.
He was awful.
That's right. That was another revenge game because Barkley got revenge on his old team. I forgot about that game. Let's see. Best Innovation Award. Oh, I already said it. The revenge game. Or just revenge in general is a great innovation. You can get revenge. Saquon Barkley got revenge today. The Niners had a shot. They didn't get revenge today. So I just got revenge as my innovation of the week.
Saquon. Revenge. Let's go with Saquon. Saquon just destroying the Giants. I love it.
Specifically Saquon getting revenge.
Yep.
As an innovation to get revenge. Yeah. I love also a revenge movie. Whenever it's like, oh yeah, go get those guys.
That's gonna be my double feature. I got one. Princess
okay.
Bride.
What? We're not there yet. Don't jump the gun. Princess Bride. All right, hold on. We'll get to it. Okay, I actually have an award for the soundtrack award this week.
All right.
I got the Bob Seger song "Like a Rock" because the NFL always delivers. Because remember Bob Seger's "Like a Rock"? Remember it was a Chevy truck commercial, and they would show the truck. I never knew that was an actual song. I thought it was the song to the Chevy truck commercial because Chevy always delivered, was always tough. And I got the NFL always delivers. Like you're always going to be entertained by the NFL, whether it's a dumbass London game, whether it's a last second field goal, whether it's Aaron Rodgers' bloody hand, you're always going to be entertained like a rock. So I went to Bob Seger's "Like a Rock."
I'm going to go with Nancy Sinatra's "These Boots Are Made for Walking."
Oh, good one.
And in the sense that the way Saquon came in and just walked all over with those boots, rocked all over the Giants.
That's a good song. I like that one. It also was a good song. Oh, I used to work at a minor league baseball stadium, and every time a batter got walked, they played that song. You know, and that was the walk to first song. Good sports song. Secret good sports song that "Boots Are Made for Walking." All right, the hot take award. I got one hot take. Here we go. It has to do with the London game. At some point in all these London games, these fans are going to get pissed off at one of them and they're going to start a riot. Like, you know, you see like a riot during soccer games. They've had enough. Right. Like the novelty is gone. They're going to start throwing beers and be like, what the fuck do we care? We don't like any of these teams. So the Londoners are going to riot soon. Don't we have a Germany game coming up this year?
I think so.
Yeah. So I think the London game is going to turn at some point. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year. They're like, screw this. We don't want to watch the Jaguars anymore. That's my hot take for the week. What do you got for hot take?
Hot take. I think. Here's my hot take. There will be only the division that we expected a lot from. We'll only have one representative, which will be the division champion, and that'll be the Buffalo Bills. The rest of that division will not be anywhere close to the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. I'd say that's a very reasonable take. All right, the Sunday double feature. All right, you said yours. What was it?
Princess Bride.
That's a revenge movie?
It was a revenge movie. Remember, my name is Inigo. What was it? Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. That's
yeah, a good revenge movie. Yeah.
Yes, that was exactly what happened today with Saquon. I'm still gushing over this performance.
Hey, you know what? Mine is almost similar. Robin Wright was in Princess Bride.
Yeah.
I went with Forrest Gump. But you know why? Because there's that reboot of Forrest Gump movie coming out. I don't think any of us need this. So I just go watch the original Forrest Gump and forget this reboot. Okay. We don't need it. Forrest Gump is just like a perfectly good ham sandwich. It hits all the notes. You got some Vietnam, you got some 70s, you got some Nixon, and that's good. We like it. It's got some good songs. That's it. It's not too much sugar. It's not bland. It's just everything you need in a movie. Moving on. So I went Forrest Gump, and don't go watch the reboot. It's going to be dumb.
No, don't go watch the reboot. Yeah, you're right.
I'd rather watch The Hills. Next award, I got a montage award for the first time ever. And you can just put this to all the teams we wrote off today. You can play that Benny Hill music while the teams like scatter around, not knowing what to do, having 12 men in the field, getting illegal procedures. Play that little Benny Hill music where they're running around with their heads cut off.
I like that.
So that was my montage award for that. Okay, I got an announcer award.
Okay.
This week. I'm watching the pregame show. I'm watching Fox pregame show, and all the guys are standing doing a little bit about some of their games they're doing. And to my surprise, Tom Brady is on the panel here.
I was gonna go with Tom Brady as well, but go on.
Yeah, so I'm like, hey, Tom Brady, isn't he going to call the game? But I'm like, oh, well, he's going to call the San Francisco game. So maybe, the Fox studios in LA, okay, maybe they're going to fly him or take a helicopter to San Francisco. It's a late game. Oh, okay, that's what they're going to do it. And then he finishes his bit, and Tom Brady disappears. It was hologram Tom Brady. And I was like, what? I thought he was really there. So I got hologram Tom Brady. It's my announcer award. It totally fooled me. I don't know if I like that or not. Guys, we got to be careful with this AI and hologram technology. We're playing with a loaded gun right now. We got to be careful with this stuff because it totally tricked me. So I got hologram Tom Brady for my announcer award.
Okay.
So were you going to say the same thing? You knew it was a hologram?
No, I was just going with Tom Brady and how politically correct he was being now that he is an owner now. He was very careful on the things
What'd he say?
He was just praising, and it was all it. He's not going to be good for hot takes. Let's just put it that way.
No, he's this is like his learning year. Like, remember
Right.
Jason Witten, how bad he was, and I felt he got better. Tom Brady, I feel like he's learning. There's I don't know if he's added anything to any broadcast yet, other than it's like, hey, it's Tom Brady.
Right.
All right, I didn't have a location award this week. Nothing stood out to me. We already did London.
We've done London.
Like, what else is there? We had Pittsburgh again this Sunday night.
I do want to talk about the location that I do appreciate that Minnesota has a roof where it feels like it's still an outdoor game, but it's not going to be miserable to be in the crowd in the winter when they're playing in the playoffs,
Yeah, that's nice. How did it take them so long to get
right
to figure this out? Or cold weather teams, how do you figure it's so long to figure out, hey, maybe we should put a dome on here? Like, why are we doing this to our poor fans? I guess it's part of the lore of Green Bay being cold outside and stuff, but yeah, why? How many years can you go? Or maybe just Green Bay can be the one team that has an outside stadium, but Minnesota, Detroit, oh my God, there would be some horrendous games if they didn't have a dome. We haven't had a single weather game yet this year, have we?
No.
We had the lightning delay 2 weeks ago, but that was lightning and that cleared up. So no location award this week.
No.
Best quote. All right, are you ready for this one?
Let's go.
First nominee. This is from Cleveland Browns teammate of Deshaun Watson, Myles Garrett. And it was, Myles Garrett has been a model citizen through college and most of the pros. I don't know what he meant by that. Hey, he was good most of the time. Was he trying to defend him? Was he that's like saying like, hey, the Menendez brothers only shot their parents one day. They weren't shooting their parents all the time.
I like that.
Hey, OJ wasn't killing his wife every day of the week. It was just one day a week.
Just one time. It's just one time, Pat.
Most of the time, OJ wasn't killing anybody. Most of the time, he was innocent.
He was rushing for more yards.
Deshaun Watson has been a model citizen most of the time.
He scored way more touchdowns than women he killed.
Right. Hey, these cases brought against Deshaun Watson, 50% of them have been consensual. Do the math.
Pat?
Turns out every assault was 50% consensual.
Pat, I think you're onto something here.
Mm-hmm. Most of the time. Myles Garrett.
We're going to get canceled.
Well, I lost my mic. Hold on. Okay, Mike is coming back. Technical difficulties. I got a little riled up with my OJ analysis. Well, hold on. Hold on, we'll go no mic for now. Okay, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good. Let me let my mic reboot because the next award. Oh no, I got a few more quotes too. I got one from Tom Brady. This one is okay. I think I'm back. Yeah, Mike's back. Okay. All right. Did you see that part in the San Francisco game where the two players got in a fight and took swings at each other?
Yeah, that was well, Trent Williams is going to win that one every time.
Tom Brady's quote was, I never understood the punch to the helmet. Why want to punch him with a helmet on? Great observation, Tom Brady.
You know what? He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I want to second you on the quote of the week.
Why you want to punch someone that's wearing a helmet? Hmm. And then last quote, because I had to throw it in, Chris Collinsworth, end of the game, some running back made like a juke move, and Chris Collinsworth went he went, I don't know if you heard that. It wasn't like a whoop like the Chris Berman. It was like a and then he did it a few times. It was really guttural from Chris Collinsworth today. I don't know if you caught that. That was pretty good too. Those are my best quotes. Nothing's going to beat that Deshaun one, but those are my nominees. You got a best quote for the week?
No, I liked your Tom Brady one.
I never understood the punch to the helmet. That leads us to the best play call / coaches award for the week. I had Sean McVay had a ridiculous challenge that was not overturned. I feel like sometimes with these coaches challenges, they're like, oh, challenge that pass, but it's clearly not going to be overturned. The ref should go, you challenge the play? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it does not overturn. Like, don't even go look at it. Just like, yeah, no.
Right.
I had the Jets coach dropping the challenge flag. He wanted to challenge that one play. He dropped it, so he didn't throw it. They run the play, and they get the touchdown. And Chris Collinsworth says, that might be the play that turns the season. Like, whoa, whoa, Chris Collinsworth. So I got those two as my coaches awards for the week. I'm going to give it to the challenge flag that was dropped.
I'm gonna just go with my coaches awards. Gonna just go down to the coaching performance of Dan Campbell to go into Minnesota and beat the Vikings.
Okay, very nice. And last award for the week. Who won the week? I got.
I'm gonna go again. The Lions are the team to beat in the NFC.
Yeah, I had Jared Goff as one nominee, and I also had Amari Cooper. Got the hell out of Cleveland.
Yeah,
goes to the Buffalo Bills and scores a touchdown. Let me tell you about an odd text I got from my own dad today. My dad texts me at about 3:00. What's up with Amari Cooper? And I'm like, why is my dad texting me about Amari Cooper? I'm like, oh, well, he's on the Cowboys. I'm like, wait, no, he's not. That's CeeDee Lamb.
Right.
Why is my dad texting about Amari Cooper? I couldn't figure it out because I wrote him back, the guy on the Bills? And he goes, yeah, how's he doing? And I'm perplexed. I'm like, why is my dad asking me about Amari? What is his association with Amari Cooper? And I write back, oh, I think he had a good game on the Bills. He got traded to the Bills. And he writes back, great. I think someone stole my dad's phone.
Maybe it was Amari Cooper.
Yeah, what was that? Why was my dad texting about Amari Cooper? Was Amari Cooper like, was he ever a Cowboy? I don't think he was, right?
Yeah, he was.
Maybe that's why then. Maybe it's my dad claims to be a Cowboy fan. So maybe that's why. I have no idea. And there's been no contact since with my dad about Amari Cooper. So that was my strange text exchange with my own dad. All right. Those were the awards for the week. That brings us to one last prediction, and you know it. It's time for the Monday night predictions. Omar, for some weird reason, the NFL is beating us to death with another doubleheader on Monday night. We don't need 2 games, but we have 2 games, and we have the first game is Baltimore at Tampa Bay.
Okay,
fun matchup. I'm probably going to miss it though.
A decent matchup, but I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. 33 Tampa Bay 27.
Wow, so high scoring Monday night. I love high scoring Monday nights.
Now, if Mike Evans does not play, that's going to be a problem for Tampa Bay.
Oh, definitely. Well, I'm going to go the other way. Tampa Bay's at home. Baltimore's been riding high for too long. I say Tampa Bay steals this one, but it's going to be low scoring. I think this is a more weird score. 17-12 is going to be this one. And the late game, the game nobody asked for, but we still got LA Chargers play the Arizona Cardinals. This is a definitely do the homework with your kids game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chargers on this one. Chargers 23, Cardinals 13.
Oh, is this the get back on track Chargers game for you?
Yeah, it's gonna be it's a get back on track game for the Chargers for sure.
The Harbaugh is a good coach game, possibly. Let's see, shoot, I'm gonna agree with you, but I still don't think this Chargers score a lot of points. But I am gonna go 26. Chargers 26, Arizona 17. What's the spread on that? Arizona's underdog?
I would imagine.
A home dog? Shoot, now I want to change my mind. I'll go Arizona covers. I would guess Arizona's getting 3.5. So I'm gonna go Arizona covers. Totally changed my mind. I told you this season has done a number on me. Well, that was the Sunday night talk for week 7 in the NFL. Omar came prepared. Next week, Wendy's, Whataburger. Don't tell me. Keep me in the dark. Be a surprise. Fast food. Week 7 in the NFL. That was it. We are both very depressed at our team, but we're going to soldier on. Omar Carmona, thank you. Enjoy Monday night and enjoy the quarter pounder.
Good night.